UFC 310 best bets. My name is Remy from the script, and let's hop straight into these breakdowns. All right, starting with the first favorite. By the way, these are our favorites. These aren't the best favorites on the card, but this is what me and my team do. We do the research. We try to provide you guys with the best favorites. A lot of these favorites, some of the odds flipped, or some of them just, it is what it is. Sometimes you just get laid in on them. You get in them late. It is what it is. Subscribe to the newsletter. You would have got all these picks earlier on with better odds. For example, Micah Chiesa. He's a minus 112, but he was a plus 130 underdog. And we got in when he was a plus 122. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But let's break these down. Starting with Pantoja. Listen, the reason we believe in Pantoja is because Pantoja is literally versing a guy making his UFC debut, has never fought in the UFC before. And to me, this is just a little bit of a no-brainer, Kai Sakura isn't a bum, but the problem is he's versing somebody like Pantoja who's really well-rounded. Pantoja can mix in the takedowns. He can stand his own on the feet. He's versed people like Moreno, Royval, that just are dogs on the feet, and he's held his own. He's 9-0 against the top 10 flyweights. He's a dog. I see what the UFC is trying to do. They're trying to push Kai Sakura because they want that UFC in Japan. But I will have to go with Pantoja as one of the good favorites. Now we got Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is versing Clay Guida. Clay Guida, very inactive. He's a very inactive fighter. He's 42. Chase Hooper, upcoming prospect, on a little bit of a win streak. It looks promising, and the odds just speak for themselves. At minus 1100. If you guys were subscribed to the newsletter, you would have seen him at a minus 600. I believe he opened up at a minus 600. But yeah, Chase Hooper, he should be able to get this one done on the ground. He actually beat Clay Guida in a grappling match, so I'm just looking forward to it. Now we have Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. You have Ian Machado Gary in underdogs. This is a very coin flip fight. I personally am not betting this fight. My partner is betting this fight. He's doing a double chance. You guys will see that in the next slide. But me personally, Shavkat, 18 fights, 18 finishes, minus 360. You will get some decent value out of this. Do I believe Ian Machado Gary should have been a plus 285? No. But Shavkat is that guy. He's the boogeyman of the welterweight division, ranked number 3. He was supposed to fight for the belt, and for good reason. But I do think he's a little overrated, guys. I think he's a little bit overrated. This is why I'm not betting on this fight. And something's telling me just Ian Gary's going to make it a lot closer than people believe. So I have Shavkat in the favorites, but I'm not betting him personally. Then we have Brian Battle. Another close fight. But Brian Battle is on the glaze list in this channel. So if you guys are like, dude, why is Brian Battle? Shut up. He's the butcher. No, let me stop. But seriously, Brian Battle in his last fight, it was like a minus 150. He was pretty close in odds. Destroyed that guy by KO in the second round. Just fucking destroying him. Then he had that legendary post-interview in the octagon. Did you really think the butcher was going to lose? Listen, man. Brian Battle, he's a dog. And I'm just very excited to watch him fight again. Then we have Bryce Mitchell. He's versing Kron Gracie. Kron Gracie literally on a losing streak right now. I don't really want to talk about it too much. It is what it is. Bryce Mitchell, he's obviously going to win this. Statistically, he's just better than Kron Gracie. Kron Gracie's on a losing streak. Kron Gracie is literally a submission or bust type of guy. He's pulling guard in an MMA match. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just that's what he does. He's just very submission-based. All of his 5 wins are through submission. And I think Bryce Mitchell could just probably mix in the takedowns. He just have to watch the submission threat that Kron Gracie brings. But I got Bryce Mitchell. Now for the solid underdogs. This is just our personal underdog list. You have Cody Durden is also a solid underdog. We don't have him on this list, but he's a solid underdog. He's versing Joshua Van. You probably will get some good plus money out that, but these are our underdogs. We have Aljamain Sterling. Now listen, he was a plus like 210 underdog the other day, but Aljamain Sterling, like listen, I have Mavzar winning, but Aljo, you can't disrespect him, man. He's a former champ. He knows what he's doing in that octagon. Defended his belt twice or 3 times, I believe. Listen, man, he's a dog, and I just have him winning. I don't have him winning, but I have him high chance. Mavzar is just he's a fucking dog, bro. Mavzar is a dog, but Aljo, I wouldn't sleep on Aljo. Then we have Michael Chiesa. I broke this down into more detail on 2 videos on this channel for the underdog. He is the underdog pick of the week. The odds have flipped, so I guess people also realized that Michael Chiesa as a dog was a little absurd. But this will maybe a close fight. Probably end up in a decision. The Michael Chiesa 3.5 spread bet maybe could have got plus money. I believe that's pretty much gone now. But of course, he's an underdog. As with all underdogs, be very wary. But we believe Michael Chiesa will be able to get this one done. Then we have Ian Machado Gary. I don't believe Ian Gary's a plus almost. He's 285, but pretty much 300. I don't think he's a plus 300 underdog. Plus 285 seems insane. He's never been beaten. You could actually make the case he's fought better comp than Shavkat. So just the fact that he's even an underdog, to me, is insane. So, me personally, I wouldn't, like I said, bet on this fight. But Ian Gary, if you guys can get some value out of that. If you really believe he can get it done, then I would say do it. And then we got the scripted bets. Of course, my bets are on the bottom. My partner's bets are up top. Let's break down his bets. Shavkat Rakhmonov by sub or Ian Gary by decision. Shavkat, 56% of his fights end in submission. He's more of a submission guy in the UFC. And he's a finisher. He's never seen the decision. And if it were to end up in a decision, I'd give it to Ian Gary. Ian Gary isn't really known for subbing people like Shavkat. And honestly, I think this bet is a lock. I don't know if Ian Gary will be able to piece up Shavkat and chin Shavkat on the feet. But if he were to win, I could see him winning decision. And if Shavkat wins, I could see Shavkat winning by submission, possibly. Even though Ian Gary will have Charles Oliveira in the corner, Charles Oliveira isn't in the octagon, if you know what I'm trying to say. I think it's possible that Shavkat could squeeze it out. And then we have Then he has a 3-leg. He has Pantoja, Brian Battle, and Bryce Mitchell. Pretty solid 3-leg. Brian Battle, in my opinion, that's the only really. All these fights will, it's a fight. It's obviously fighting. Pantoja will be close. Brian Battle's fight will be close, but Brian Battle, I'm convinced, after his last performance. And Bryce Mitchell, Kron Gracie, that fight is just crazy to me. But we'll move on. I don't even know why that fight is on the main card. But then we got 2 premium bets. Become a premium member. Link is in the description to unlock these bets. Last week Wilson did amazing. My partner Wilson, he did amazing on these bets. And you guys would have hit if you guys were in the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. Help support us. Supports the channel. And come get right in the newsletter. And then we have my bets. I have a 2-leg Pantoja Mavzar. I like this 2-leg a lot. Not too long ago, Mavzar and Pantoja were literally minus money. I don't know if these odds are correct, but literally yesterday it was like a minus, like 119. So I feel really confident in this 2-leg. Pantoja, he's a dog. He's never been finished. As long as he's able to just negate Asakura's striking on the feet, we could see something. And Mobzar, him and Aljo's fight shouldn't be on the prelims, but I get it a little bit, you know. Then I have Michael Chiesa. He's also a dog. I broke down the fight into detail. Max Griffin, he's 8-8 in the UFC, very 50-50 fighter. And when it goes to decision, he's 5-7. And Michael Chiesa is 5-1 when it goes to decisions. So he does have the advantage if it does go to decision. I like Michael Chiesa. But as always, underdogs, just be wary of how much you put. Then we have the premium bet and the safe bet. The safe bet is essentially the safest bet that we've came up with on this card. We do this every card, and it's just something that we always try to hit, you know? The odds sometimes are good, sometimes are bad. Not really bad, but I think the lowest will probably get is maybe minus 300. We try to keep it decent odds. For UFC 309, we had John Jones money line, and we had Bo Nickal sub or decision. That bet hit, and that was a plus 115. For the fight night, I don't believe I made a video, but the safety bet was Carlos Prates KO. And recently for the China card, we didn't hit. And the safe bet, I'll be honest, it didn't hit. But projected, I like the odds, But that was a little tricky card to break down. I feel a little more confident with this safe bet parlay that I got going on. So if you guys are interested, link is in the description. These are our bets. I'm Remy from the script. I just gave you guys the script again. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this with a friend. Subscribe to the newsletter if you guys want to unlock these premium bets. And just help support the channel. It's only $10 a month, $2.50 a card. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I'm out.